Hello, my name is Richard Furie. I'm the Chief of Rheumatology at Northwell Health in New York. I've been taking care of lupus patients for close to 40 years and doing clinical research for about 20 years. Today I want to talk to you about research. There are different kinds of research. There's basic science research, which occurs in the laboratory, and then there's clinical research on patients. And in between is translational research, which is basically applied research connecting basic science with clinical research. There happen to be many different types of clinical research. There are observational studies where patients may just fill out some questionnaires. There are studies where blood samples may be taken, and then the ultimate is a clinical trial. And today we're going to talk about clinical trials. Clinical trial is a study performed to yield information about a drug in development for lupus. They're typically sponsored by a pharmaceutical company, and they're highly regulated by the FDA as well as local authorities known as the Institutional Review Board. The question is, why do a clinical trial? Well, it will yield potentially a new therapy. And you could ask the question, do we need new therapies for lupus? And the answer is absolutely. We need safer therapies. We need more efficacious therapies. We want to get rid of steroids. We want to reduce the toxicities of immunosuppressives. And we can only do that through a clinical trial. So the way the drug development process works is first there's a laboratory discovery, and then there might be studies in animals. Believe it or not, there are mice that develop lupus, and they're good for studies before going into humans. Once in humans, we have different phases of study, phase 1 through phase 4. And the idea of a phase 1 study is to learn about the metabolism of the drug under study, and of course safety. And if that's successful, then we move to phase 2, where larger numbers of patients are studied. And if that's effective, then we move to phase 3, and 2 phase 3 trials are required to be successful for drug approval. And then there happens to be a phase 4 study, which is a study that's done after the drug is approved. So the burning question, why participate in a clinical trial? Well, we need to advance the search for better and safer therapies, and we can only do this if we have trial participation. Some patients do it to receive state-of-the-art medical care. Some do it to benefit themselves, family members who might have the disease, or friends. There are potential risks. There is a time commitment. The treatment might not work, and there could potentially be side effects. That's what we need to learn about these new drugs in development. In fact, you might get a placebo, but placebos sometimes work. So what can you expect in a clinical trial? You need to ask a lot of questions of the investigator. You will sign an informed consent, and that's almost like a contract where it outlines everything that will happen during the study. You will undergo screening to see if you're eligible for the study. Unfortunately, not everybody who wants to participate is eligible. And then, if eligible, there's the randomization where you get assigned to either the treatment or in some cases a placebo. And then there are very regimented schedules of visits, and you do get very careful medical attention. So how is safety ensured? Well, the study itself is approved by the Food and Drug Administration, and then it's approved by the local authority called the IRB. There are frequent visits that are monitored by the physician as well as a research coordinator. The study is also monitored by the pharmaceutical company. So safety is given a lot of attention. As far as costs, there's no cost to participation. In fact, you may get a little stipend to offset travel costs. And what happens when the trial ends? Well, the data will be analyzed, and if it's a successful trial, it will move to the next phase. If it's already in phase 3, then the package goes to the FDA, and the FDA will decide whether to approve the drug. Sometimes there are extension studies where the drug continues to be given even after the main part of the study has ended. So the bottom line is we need new therapies for lupus. We need safer therapies, more efficacious therapies, not just for regular lupus, but also lupus nephritis as well. So it's very important to consider participating in a trial. Trials aren't for everybody, but I certainly urge all my patients to participate. And if you want to know more, contact the Lupus Foundation of America. They are heavily involved in research. Thank you.